Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the first spoiler coverage article for the next set, the Time Spinning Witch. We start off with our first ruler. Very excited about these cards, and kind of a new mechanic too. So we have, let's just jump right in and I'll kind of explain how it goes. So we have Princess of Fleeting Hope. She's a human with, she's a light ruler, human with double white for her judgment and an energize for white or black. And she has an ability for 0, recover target resonator, play this ability only during your opponent's turn and only once per turn. So obviously she looks a lot like Lumia. She's probably some form of Lumia. And so rather than being able to flicker, she can recover a resonator during your opponent's turn. I think that's pretty cool. You know, you can kind of swing with it and then be able to recover it to keep it safe. Just kind of a simple mechanic there. But then her J-Ruler side is Aimul, Princess of Despair. For those of you who are wondering, Aimul is Lumia spelled backwards. So that's pretty interesting. She's a 3/3 with human darkness ruler with flying and imperishable and drain. So we have a new keyword for anything that is when this card deals damage, you gain that much life. It's the new keyword of drain. And it says, when this card enters your field, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put a non-chant with total cost 3 or less from among them into the field, and then you may invert that card. Put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. This card gains +2/+2 for each inverse entity you control. So obviously that's a new kind of type of card. That is the new mechanic. But what is inverse? What is inverting? Let's take a look. Because we have our first one. We have Knight of Hope. He is a 1-drop 4/4 human. It says whenever you do Judgment of a ruler, you invert this card. Invert meaning to flip it over. So what does that mean? Well, his other side is the Knight of Despair. He becomes a doesn't have a cost 8/8 vanilla. So keep this in mind. So he doesn't have a cost, which means that he should be, unless the CR states that they have cost of 0, it means you couldn't target him with stuff that has cost regulations attached to it, because the guy technically doesn't have a cost. And he becomes an inverse entity. So it looks like instead of having shifts, we're having inverses. So we're going to have double-sided cards again that act as a separate type of entity on their back side. I for one think that's pretty cool, and they'll have different ways to kind of get into that, or different kind of forms of inverse. I definitely think that's a very unique mechanic, and getting back to that double-sided cards is pretty cool, I think. So let's go ahead and get some of the other cards. We have 2 other cards that both have inverses ready to go. First up, we have the False Peace, 1-drop white chance quick cast. It says you gain 400 life and draw a card, and then you remove this game inverted from the game. So you cast it, gain life, draw a card, flip this card over, and RFG it. And then it flips over into the Deadly Pox. So it's a 2-drop chance inverse. It says if you move it to a non-chase zone, so like if you cast it, and then so after you cast it, it'll go to the graveyard back on its False Peace side. So this card can only kind of exist in the RFG in this side. It says play this card only from your removed area. So there you go, you can cast it from your RFG. And your opponent loses 400 life and discards a card. So it's kind of, again, it's the inverse. So you pay 1, gain 4, draw a card, and then you can pay 2, your opponent loses 4 and discards a card. In the sake of Dark Tree decks, I think this actually is very good. It sits in the RFG, so you can just kind of wait and cast it, and constantly threatens the tree deck to say, hey, you know, I've been casting these cards. If you, by any chance, put your life total low, I'm just going to cast this and kill you. Because it is loss of life, not damage. So that's pretty interesting. Next up, we have the Twin Blades of Hope and Despair. Also a chance, quick cast. It says target resonator you control gains 600/600, and target resonator your opponent controls gains -600/600 until the end of the turn, and then you RFG this card inverted. So this card is pretty much strictly better as a Dark Purge, except Dark Purge hits J-Rulers. but this is a potential 1200 damage swing in a creature if 2 creatures are attacking, so I think that's pretty cool. It also can, you know, if they block with something and you cast this, you can get a lot of damage in pretty quick. And then on its other side, we have the Sword of Fate. So it's a 4-drop chant. So it looks like chants that have inverses will be quick cast in the hand, and then just regular chants in the RFG, which I think is fine for the power level of this. So it says, play this card only from your moved area. Again, you have to cast it from the RFG, and you choose one. You destroy target J Resonator. It's for 4, which is great. Or you put target Resonator of total cost 5 or less from your graveyard into the field. So this is really interesting. So it's a destruction spell that you can just sit on if you're playing against a J Ruler type deck, where you go, hey, so if you decide to flip, I've got this kill spell just ready to go. And then, or you can like recur something and do some reanimation for a 5-drop. So based on, again, if you've already killed their J Ruler or something else like that, then this card just becomes a re-utility revival spell. I think the fact that it has those 2 very different modes, very different ideas behind it, makes this card actually pretty good. So we'll just have to kind of see where it comes into play in the meta. So overall, that is the spoilers for today. What do you guys think of this new mechanic? Are you excited about it like I am? You want to see more support for it? Lots of cool stuff coming down the line. I think we're going to be getting some spoilers probably at least every day, but hopefully I'll be doing a video for you guys every day with the spoilers. But until next time, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share out the video. And this is DMO73 signing off. Huge thanks to the patrons of the channel. You see their names here on the screen as well as down below in the description. They are what help make this channel run and help me do these awesome projects for you guys. If you feel like joining the channel and getting access to all the cool perks that come with being a patron, click on the P on the screen or the link down below. Thanks so much. See you next time.